Last November, I was fortunate enough to talk to two Oak Ridge boys ahead of the CMA Awards. That's me there with William Lee Golden and Duane Allen, and I'm gonna share a little bit of a secret. For some reason, I've become sort of the go-to when it comes to talking to country music legends of the 70s, 80s, and 90s. I won't pretend to be the most knowledgeable, but I do always lead with respect and appreciation for where today's country music comes from. I think subscribers appreciate that. And it's relevant because today, we're going to talk about another legend who passed away, Jeannie Seely. She died on Friday, August 1st at age 85, and we'll get to her cause of death in just a moment, but if you're not familiar with Jeannie, it's totally understandable. She only had a few top 10 hits in the Billboard Hot Country Songs chart, the most successful of which was Don't Touch Me, which hit number 2 in 1966.
Don't touch me if you don't love me.
For the most part, it's hard to hear her songs on the radio today, mostly because there aren't that many classic country stations, but also because her commercial success came like 50 or 60 years ago, and she was in some ways always behind women like Dolly Parton and Loretta Lynn when it came to the big awards. I know, I advertised an Oak Ridge Boys video, and all I've done so far is talk about Jeannie Seely. Trust me, this is relevant, and I won't go on much longer other than to share some reactions from some of her closest friends. Here's Carly Pierce, who called Jeannie a mentor and one of her dearest friends, and this is Phil Vassar, who took to Facebook to recall her light and laughter. I'm just going to go ahead and let you read Dolly Parton's tribute as I share Jeannie's legacy. She was a true champion for women in country music. In fact, in 1993, she became the first regular female host ever at the Grand Ole Opry. Yeah, I did say that it took till 1993. And this is kind of hilarious by today's standards. She was the first woman to ever wear a miniskirt on stage at the Grand Ole Opry. Trust me when I tell you, it created a stir amongst the management. As a 55-year member of the Grand Ole Opry, Jeannie appeared on that stage more than 5,200 times. That is a record that's going to stand for a long, long time. Think about it. If someone were to appear at the Opry every day of the year and they started today, they wouldn't get finished and catch Jeannie Seely until about 2040. So hopefully I've reminded you of how important she was to country music, and please take a moment and share your favorite song of hers below. Like Dolly, Phil, Carly, and more, the Oak Ridge Boys were friends and fans. Y'all, this group has just been devastated over the last 18 months to an extent I didn't really understand until I spoke with them.
Well, we've had a pretty difficult year.
100%.
We've had, in each of the 4 positions, we've had a death in our group. And we're hanging on, and our friends have really supported us. They stood up with us, and our friends have called us, and our fans have stood by us.
Among those deaths is Joe Bonzel, who died on July 9th, 2024. In addition, Duane Allen's wife, Nora Lee, died on March 31st last year. That's how this all circles back. At the Oak Ridge Boys Facebook page, Duane writes, "The last date I had with my Nora Lee was with Jeannie Seely and Gene Ward, a double date with best friends. They are all gone but me." Jeannie was married to famous songwriter Hank Cochran for about a decade, but in 2010 she remarried to Gene Ward. He died after a cancer battle in December 2024. That was 1 month after I talked to the Oak Ridge Boys. Nora, Joe Bonzel, Gene, and now Jeannie, y'all share some love with the Oak Ridge Boys, but especially Duane Allen. Jeannie had been battling health issues for most of a year, and actually she underwent several back surgeries this spring, as well as a pair of abdominal surgeries. The cause of death was complications from an intestinal infection. Her last appearance at the Grand Ole Opry came February 22nd, 2025, but she continued to host her radio show on Sirius XM through July 27th. If you enjoyed this video and the love on the country music legends, please consider tapping subscribe or just leave a like or a comment below. I'm Billy Dukes with Taste of Country. Thanks for watching, and thanks for subscribing.